When we're dealing with developer responsibilities in a subdivision, from a testable point of view, really the only thing that you're going to see from the developer is disclosure on whether or not the streets will be public versus private. So this kind of goes back into the public and private land use controls. Don't get confused, because when I say public or private streets, that's different between public and private land use controls. So a developer, number one, has to get approval for a subdivision before they can start doing it. They have to apply for, permitting and approval through the planning board. When we are talking about this, that's dealing with what we would refer to as subdivision regulations. Subdivision regulations are very much a public land use control. Please do not confuse those with subdivision protective or restrictive covenants, which is where the developer has recorded a set of rules that said you can't have a fence over 6 feet, you can't have chickens, you can't paint your house. Private land use controls are restricting one or a few homeowners, and they could have been set by the developer, they could have been set by the previous owner. So from a public land use control point of view, subdivision regulations are through the public. And so they would have to get approval before they start their project. They would have to disclose whether their streets are going to be public or private. Now, when I say, are their streets going to be public or private? That means, are they going to build them to DOT standards, which is the Department of Transportation, and then elect to turn them over to the DOT? And then once the DOT adopts them, then they would become public streets, which means if there's a pothole, the DOT will fix it in 1 to 7 business years, right? But if it's a private street, then it would be the individual homeowners that would be responsible sometimes, right, for repairing it. Either there'd be a road maintenance agreement through the homeowners association, or there'd be nothing in place from like an older subdivision, and there may be special assessments imposed. Subdivision is a very loose definition. Dividing a piece of land into 2 or more lots when you intend to develop or sell, or anytime that you're creating a new street. If we're making a new subdivision, we cannot market or contract on those subdivision lots until the preliminary plat has been approved by the planning board. Once the preliminary plat has been approved, you can market them and you can contract on them, but you cannot close on a lot, meaning transfer ownership, until the final plat map has been recorded with the Register of Deeds. That's like everything that you could be hit with in regard to a developer on the test and what you're going to see with subdivisions.
If you like this video, feel free to share it with a friend. For more real estate education content, please subscribe to the channel. From all of us at Seacoast Real Estate Academy, thank you for watching.